Okay, look, I always preach that creating content is the best thing you can do for your brand. It builds trust, it builds awareness, and it drives real results. We've seen it firsthand, even at our small scale. But why does it always feel like creating content is an absolute mess? You feel behind on videos, you feel behind on posting, you feel behind on trends. Your content team is burning out, you're burning out, and you're just trying to post something, anything to stay in front of your audience. Whew, the chaos is real. And in the many years that I've been making videos and trying to make this content thing work, I have felt that chaos deeply. But here's the good news. When it comes to creating content, your chaos meter doesn't have to be at 100% all the time. And the goal is by the end of this video, your chaos meter comes all the way back down to 0. Yo, I'm Zach, part of the team here at Clipflow, or otherwise known as the guy who's always dressed as the pizza man from Home Alone 1. You won't unsee it now. Great movie, by the way, far out. When I originally joined the team here at Clipflow, I came in with a lot of confidence. I was raring to go. I was hired to really push our content as a company. And I thought, man, how hard could it be? They had a great team, a great product, great personalities. This is going to be a breeze. But a couple weeks into the job and it really hit me. If I really want to make these channels work, which I do, then I need to build a structure around them. And that's when I realized I needed to completely reset the way I thought about team, tools, and time. We'll get into it. See, when you first start making content, maybe you're a founder or you work in a team at a business like I do, or maybe you're a creator on your own. Chaos is the default. It's full on. You come up with every single idea. You have to come up with all the thumbnails. You have to design the thumbnails. You have to film the videos, edit the videos, review the videos, schedule the videos, and then do it all over again all the time. But the truth is, doing all that is the baseline to creating good content. Now, I'm going to be fully honest with you. When I joined Clipflow, I had this little bit of pride in me. I was proud that I could do all the script writing, do all the ideation, do all the thumbnails, edit all the videos. And to add fuel to the fire, I also had this crazy ambition of doing a video a day, essentially 10xing our current output. I can do a whole different video on why we made that decision. But the point is, I was redlining every single day. And thankfully, I had a team that kind of called me out. Clipflow co-founders Ken and Daryl both made it clear to me that, hey, you need to get help with this. You need an editor to help you out. And at first, that prideful part of me didn't want to let it go. I felt good being the only guy that knew how to edit the videos. But I put my trust in their decision, and frick, I'm so glad I did. Because we hired a great editor, a super great dude. And 2 things happened. First and most importantly, our editing got 10x better. Having someone focused on that one task and crushing it made us feel great as a team that we were putting out better content. Someone could own it and do it very well, as opposed to me who was doing it in the margins and falling behind on all the projects I had. But secondly, I got a lot of my time back. Time to actually think about where we were going with our content and to write and script and ideate the stuff that I love doing the most. But don't make this mistake, because this isn't about delegating everything. It's about knowing what you should hold on to tightly and what you should let go of. For me, at least for now, I'm not letting go of storytelling, ideation, experimentation. That's where I feel like in this season is where my highest point of return is for Clipflow and what we're trying to build. But holding on to editing, that was pride, not strategy. And so as you create more content and as things start to grow, stop trying to balance all the plates while expecting incredible results. Get really good at knowing what to hold on to tightly and what to let go of. Hiring the right editor brought my chaos meter down a ton. Same goes with thumbnail designs, research, whatever it may be. It will take some pressure off. The next big reset I had to face was around tools. I love tools, man. I like new processes, software, tinkering around with things. The problem is, when you spend more time testing and implementing tools than actually creating content, you're just distracting yourself from the job at hand. I know I was. See, I ran an agency for about 5 years before I joined the team at Clipflow, and we edited over 1,000 videos for a bunch of awesome creators. But before I knew it, I was juggling so many different tools and paying for a lot of subscriptions, geez. All of these tools technically had a place in our workflow, but every tool was another distraction, another layer to getting the job done. And since joining Clipflow, I've learned the power of simplifying everything. Less tools, less software, more clarity. It can feel a bit backwards, but it's worth spending the time cutting the tools you don't really need or consolidating them into a better tool. And this is obviously a great moment for me to represent Clipflow, the tool that we're building. I can't even hide that I wrote that into the script on purpose because I'm so amped for what we're building at Clipflow. We kind of joke internally that Clipflow is your content workshop, your content toolshed, a single place for everything you need to really crush it making content. And as the guy leading the charge on content as our team, having a single tool to review all our media, to manage all our tasks, to connect with our editors has been so freaking good. I used to do all of those things across so many different platforms. And losing track of everything it added to that chaos meter. But our mission with Clipflow is to take away all that pressure, all that stress for high-performing teams who are making content. Whenever I have a great idea, guess where it goes? Into Clipflow. Whenever I finish recording, guess where that footage goes? Into Clipflow. When I need to see what my editor's working on, Clipflow. My attention is no longer spread thin across a bunch of tools. And it's made running 4 channels and posting multiple videos every day so much easier. So yes, this is a shameless plug, but we really believe in what we're building. And we really hope it helps you too. So spend the time to consolidate your tools. Similar to how things get in my studio when I have all my gear everywhere, a chaotic environment is going to give you that sense of chaos. And software and tools, it's exactly the same. So be intentional with the tools you use every single day. And it's going to drop that chaos meter a ton. But as you can see, there's still a bit left on our chaos meter, and it's still a bit spicy. And this next reset I had, look, I'd be lying if I said I've nailed it. But it's something that's so critical to being able to pull off this content thing, to be able to build a content engine for your business, for your channel. And that reset was around time. I, like probably you, expect a lot from myself, and I expect a lot from others. And often those expectations come down to time and how we think about time and what we're trying to do here. It's not unusual for me to wake up and think, man, I wish we grew by more subscribers. I wish we got more views. How can we do it faster? How can we grow the channel far more in 6 months? Why aren't things moving quicker? Look, I'm going to be super honest. I've been creating videos and wanting to be a YouTuber for 20 years. And I've started a bunch of channels, almost a channel a year since I started. And I feel super lucky to have a channel that grew to over 100K and it's still growing. But honestly, it's not where I want it to be yet. Feels like I've got a long way to go to hit my expectation, my goal. But even after all these years, I'm still learning the hard way that good things do take time to build. The stuff that I'm proud of took time to build. And so when I came in here swinging at Clipflow with this expectation of we're going to go to 100K ASAP, I was kind of setting myself up for failure a little bit. I'm trying to find a way to say this without saying let go of your ambition, because that's not what this is at all. I think ambition is an incredible thing. But truthfully, content is a long game. Building trust with people, lots of people, is a long-term play. And my reset around time was the reset around time horizon. Yes, we want to move quick. Yes, we want to try new things quickly. We want to fail quickly. But the real challenge, the real test comes down to whether you can do that, whether you can make content at that level and scale for a long time horizon. Because it's the guys who never gave up on it, who are still going, that are winning. And if your expectation, like mine was around the time horizon, was this is going to blow up in a year, it's going to be freaking massive, which by the way, it still could, then you need to be prepared for what happens when it doesn't. Because more times than not, people quit. They just stop completely. And usually right before they were about to hit the thing that was going to make it work. But if you really want to lower some of that chaos, maybe just shift the time horizon, shift the expectation. It's scary. Making content can cost a lot of money. It can cost a lot of time. But with that new lens of a longer time horizon, I feel like I've been able to come back to the basics, which is focus on the next rep, focus on doing it well, focus on doing it in a healthy way, and focus on providing as much value as possible every single rep. After my first few weeks starting here at Clipflow, co-founder Ken said something that I honestly probably won't ever forget. He said, you have to find what you can maintain. What can you keep doing? I love a good sports analogy, but this isn't a sprint. This is a long-term game. This is a marathon. And so that's my question for you. How can you lower your chaos? How can you lower the craziness that is making content so you can maintain it? Because that's it. That's the whole game. But that one repeatable rhythm stacked over time brings insane results. And that is something worth being proud of. So hey, if you make content or you're building an internal media team, check out Clipflow. We're building the content tool we wish we always had. And we have a good feeling it's going to help you too.